Caitlin Clark. Fever vs Mystics WNBA prediction, odds, pick, 9/19/2024. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever take on the Washington Mystics. Our WNBA odds series has our Fever Mystics prediction, odds, and pick. Find out how to watch Fever Mystics. The Indiana Fever started their season 1-8. They will be part of the WNBA playoffs. The Washington Mystics began their season 0-12. Heading into Game 40, the regular season final, Washington still has a shot at the playoffs, though it needs help. Washington must get a win over Caitlin Clark and the Fever, coupled with an Atlanta Dream loss to the New York Liberty. If Washington loses and Atlanta loses, then the Chicago Sky would have a chance to sneak into the playoffs with a win over the Connecticut Sun. This three-team scramble will go down to the final night of the regular season. Indiana has every reason to rest Caitlin Clark and its other starters in this game. As noted above, Indiana was 1-8. This team had to play really hard and really well for a long period of time to rise above the 500 mark and clinch a top 6 seed in the WNBA. After all of that hard work, Clark, who was fresh after the Olympic break and became a noticeably more effective player as a result of that mid-season rest, which she wouldn't have had if she had played for the United States Olympic team, needs another break to revive and refresh for the playoffs. One would think the Fever are smart enough to arrive at this conclusion. You will note how the betting markets have responded to this particular state of play and how they are calibrating the odds for this game against Washington, a team in an absolute must-win situation and playing at home. Let's see what happens on the final night of the regular season. The Atlanta Dream are in the catbird seat, but they're not a lock, and a particular combination of events could still potentially lift Washington to the playoffs after its 0-12 start. Why the Fever can cover the spread/win. The Fever and Caitlin Clark might be resting, but the Indiana backups have been waiting for an opportunity like this. It's a chance to prove themselves and earn playing time as reserves in the playoffs. Washington is still not a good team. The Mystics are 13-26. They have won 1/3, 33.3% of their games. Indiana's backups can win this game outright or at least cover the 3.5-point spread. Why the Mystics can cover the spread/win. The Fever are resting. The Mystics season is on the line and Washington is going to give absolutely everything it has to bring home a win here. Washington has already defeated the Fever this season and should be able to do so one more time with its playoff fate on the line. Washington might not get into the playoffs. It needs help elsewhere in the WNBA on Thursday night. But beating Indiana is the piece of the puzzle which is likely to fall into place. Final Fever Mystics prediction and pick. The fact that Indiana has nothing to play for makes this a game Washington should definitely win by several points. Take the Mystics.